I'm the only person waiting in line. But once you go live, I'm gonna close YouTube, so we're not gonna get
Okay.
it back.
Yeah, so you don't get the sound. But you know what? I just went on live.
And
Yeah, today we have Weng Chang, our casting director here. We're going to review some of the actors' reel. And also, my name is Tom. I am the host of this live stream right now. Check out my whole entire spiel. Do you like it, Wayne? Like, I am
I was
so
expecting to go like choo choo, but I guess not for this kind of
Oh
videos.
no. I am not going for that. If you really want to see that, please just like and subscribe to my channel. You'll see more of that later on, but not in this one. Okay.
Yeah, I saw your sister's on.
I try to be a little bit professional here.
Okay.
Okay, so of course, come say hi, everyone who's coming on right now on YouTube. You know, it takes a little bit time, so let's just chat a little bit before
Well,
we do the
for
acting.
those who doesn't know you, tell us about yourself, Tom.
Uh,
Other than your kiddo grades, what do you do in casting?
oh my God, yes, I'm actually a keto person who does keto mukbang on my channel, but in my real life, I'm actually a casting director and actor. But mostly I do casting for a lot of Asian productions that's coming from overseas. And luckily, because of that, there's a lot of co-productions that's happening between China and here or Asia. And sometimes they will be shooting in New York, and sometimes they will be shooting in LA, and sometimes they will shoot both places. So this is one of the opportunity for me to actually, because of a production, I had an honor to meet Wayne, the casting director from East Coast. So I'm the West Coast of Wayne, and Wayne is the East Coast of me. I'm kidding. He's more wiser and more experienced. I look at him more of my mentor. No, I got that lines too. It's just the
So you're getting wiser too, then, right?
yes. I actually I cut my own hair because of for this live stream.
Oh, I was gonna do it, but decided to save the drama on another day.
Yeah. In case you have never seen it, my sister cut cut my hair, and it was such a dramatic scene that happened to me. So
Oh, it looks good.
yeah, I can cut my own hair now.
Do you put like a buzzer? You have a buzzer yourself?
Yeah, I use the clipper. Yeah,
Ah, okay.
use the clipper.
Me too.
I just do it myself.
Yeah. The entire last year I cut my own hair in a I have a mirror on the wall. Yeah, and I'm on the mirror so I can see the back of my head, and then
same here. My trick is if you have a mirror in the back, go up and down so you can see the back of your hair.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Cool. Okay, well, some people got in already. Lang, hello.
Yes. So we have some volunteers who has the courage, right?
Yes.
Things to the reel, and Lang is one of our volunteers.
Yes. Tell me a little bit about you, though, Wayne, because you know
what's there to say about me?
Yeah,
sure. I am wise and old. I'm in the East Coast. All right. So again, I'm an independent casting director based out in New York. Usually cast only local productions, and once in a blue moon, I may have to cast outside of New York area. I met Tom through a production that was shot in both New York and Los Angeles, and that was what 3.5 years ago.
It was a while back.
Yeah, and guess what? It's still in post production. So
I know.
Yeah. That was exciting.
We could definitely share about our experiences later on. Until
we kind of talk about it in our last.
Yeah, we did.
Our last video. So maybe insert a link here and there.
Yeah.
So
I will put it at the end when we finish this live stream.
okay, yeah, then you can see for me, I'm a improvement on my camera quality. And,
Oh,
imagine like me doing casting and all actors like, you know what? It's a lot of effort to do our taping at home. Casting should be expert on that. And I guess what? I'm not an expert on still taping at home. So this is a step up with my. I'm using my phone instead of the webcam on my computer. So yeah.
yes.
Yeah. What else? What else about me? I'm just like Tom. I started my career as an actor, and back in 90s, they were very
You
limited.
started really early though, right? In terms of how you would describe like a lot of people who are in this industry, you've been doing it for a long, long time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's why when I hit the glass ceiling for an Asian man, right, and that was in the 90s. um, I decided that I need to find a second passion in this industry, right? Because I done my share of the Chinese chef, Korean laundromat owner, or the Japanese sushi chef, right? Well, waiter, lawyer, you name it. So I decided that I need to find a better interest, a second interest in this industry, and I just happen to like to collect actors.
Mhm.
Um, I think I have a pretty good memory. Um, you know,
I don't.
yeah, well, I try to. I'm getting old, so that's why I've been adding a bunch of people on Instagram, using Instagram or TikTok or even Facebook,
Mm,
to track of people that I know that I met, and then when I need to dig them out, I can just do a little search and I find them. So all these social media has become my database in a way, because my
nice.
Gmail is overblown with media files. So yeah, so when I reached the glass ceiling, I decided to abandon acting and go into casting. And then once I got into casting, I'm like, you know what, I can still act. You know, uh, Especially I'm waiting for when I'm really, really, really old. That's when the money comes. There's
Yeah.
always a demand for Asian parents. I
I'm
mean,
like
grandparents. Yeah.
I'm doing like all this creasing, like I try to get a crease. Try to look older.
Again, if you got a self-tape request, you do what you can to imply the role without, looking too much.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, for me, I just put baby powder in my hair and that kind of, I don't try to do anything on my face because I'm already wrinkly, right? When
I
it's
try
deep.
to go the down lighting, so then my forehead will have more of a crease.
I mean, you do what you can to imply the role, right? If you're
Yeah.
given the audition invite that's much older. I mean, my friend Kristen, um, she kind of perfect the grandma audition. She's like grandma age,
That's
and then
amazing.
yeah, I know several years ago she's like, oh, I'm gonna test this something out, and she has her own granny ensemble, her way of doing makeup and hair.
Oh,
And then yeah, it's been a couple years now, and literally, um, majority of the booking are grandmas. And I was looking at her reel the other day. Like there was a Amazon Prime new TV movie with Jeremy Piven, and then she's in there. I said, "What do you play?" And I went look at her scenes. Oh, grandma.
oh. I need to start doing that. I need to start like leave my hair longer because I look a lot older when I have longer hair. So
That's why my hairs are usually sort of long,
yeah.
because again, we all know I don't have an agent now. So if
Mm,
uh,
yeah.
if for some reason
Yes.
someone found me and said, "Oh my God, Wayne, you're great. We actually need someone like you," and it got me an audition for any kind of roles. At least I can physically do something to transform to imply the role a little bit more. If I shave my head, then
Yes.
that's end of the role for.
Had my share of what my sister did my hair, and I went audition, and people were like, "You were too young for this," or something like that. I was going for a lawyer role, and Like Judy over here, like she would totally get it, but for me, I
You tell
couldn't
your
get it.
sister because it's her fault.
I didn't blame her, but
You should. You
over
should.
here it is. No. Okay, so today I have Wayne, the casting director from East Coast, here talking with us, and we're going to do some acting review, acting demo reel reviews, and some volunteers are here for us to critique. But I would say more of giving some insights on how to do a better demo reel. You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we
So
get
instead of really criticize it, I think it's much important to look at some other people's work and then to see what's best for you and what's best for featuring yourself in the reel.
and just a disclaimer, we do not speak for other casting professionals or casting office. This
Yeah.
is strictly our personal perspective. So take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And also, too, I'd like to piggyback on, we talk about the gray hair aging stuff. So for actors out there, you don't know. Sometimes when people who are reviewing your audition tapes, they may not know about acting. They may not know what acting is. They are very visual. And sometimes the decision maker literally could just say, hey, I like this girl or like that guy because he or she looks the part,
Yes.
right?
Especially in the West Coast, there's a lot of commercials that are literally looking at your reel or your headshots and then booking you that way because you look the part. So that's why a lot of Instagram social media handles are very popular in the West Coast when they're doing casting for commercials. Yeah.
Well, not only that, it's just that when you prepare for an audition, you want to rule out anything that could jeopardize your chance in booking a part. So a lot of actors focus on acting, and they were all black as if they're doing rehearsals, and yet compared to another actor who did just as well proportion work, but if the role is a nurse and then they wear something that implies a scrub, usually the producer or executive producer who kind of just the money person, but we all got paid through that person, right? It's, oh, she looks like a nurse. I said,
Yeah.
okay, well,
Yeah.
green light
Yeah.
that. And the
You only
executive
roll
producer,
our eyes and just
director, just let you know,
yeah.
who pays the bills, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you do what you can, not only on the acting or your homework versus part of the packaging deal is also very important when you
Yeah.
prepare for an audition.
Yes. And we're also open to questions. And then we when we do this live stream, if you have some questions regarding about acting or the acting business, you're more than welcome to just leave it on there. And then I know we are going to have a break in the middle of it that I will be answering some of your comments and also some of your questions. But before we start with the acting reel reviews, let's just chat a little bit about the casting talk.
Yeah.
What's behind that casting couch over here?
I
You
don't
know,
I don't have a couch, as you can see. This is my room, and I have this really old office chair. The reason I had to put a coat over it because the skin is peeling. so
yeah,
yeah. Well,
my chair is pretty old too, so.
so one thing though, I recently did I just finished wrapping up a Chinese TV show that was shooting in New York. All the principal photography were done in China on green screen.
Mhm.
Again, they must have the money to do all the special effect. And in post production, I saw some original footage. All the actors are amazing. They did anything they can in a green sound stage. And
Wow.
what we're doing in New York is that we cast all the smaller characters or the local New Yorker characters, and they're going to edit them in. And also a lot of the background, so they can put post in the background of the screen studio. Yeah.
Wow.
So that was, I'm like, that must cost a lot of money. Like
Hmm.
for an episodic to do that. So
Unless the green screen cropped was really bad, but
I seen
it was
some
a free
shows.
budget, right?
I seen some shows already. I recently found this TV show back in Beijing. That's what they call.
Mm.
And they literally edit the New York scenes and into the Chinese scene or China scene, like shot in China too, into this 44 episode episodic. You can find it on YouTube for free. And then I was like, wow, they the way they edit that, I'm like, that is a smart way to do it. It's seamless, seamless.
Nice.
So I was like, wow, they really have the budget to support that. I mean, great and good for them. So one thing I like, the reason I mentioned this is that one of the character that I had to cast in New York is like a grandma, a Caucasian grandma playing the neighbor part. And of course, I'm not running any in-person audition. Here's the thing: people in LA are running in-person audition. I don't know, like they must be really comfortable. I'm not yet. Anyways, so getting self tape, right? And I'm very thankful. There's a lot of quote grandma-looking actors who are willing to submit and spend the time to give us a pretty good audition tape. Um, so one of the talent, and I want to because I don't know a lot of these actors in the grandma age. I know
Uh,
a few. A lot of my friends are actually willing and happy to audition, which I'm eternally grateful for, especially during the pandemic. But again, the production that we can negotiate a rate that's above above minimum wage, and it's
mm.
above a lot of the non-union productions in New York. So I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
get a little bit more money out of that, so the actors can get a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then I look at this actor's resume. Wow, she doesn't have a lot of the TV or film credits, but she has
Okay.
extensive theater work.
Oh,
And then now I thought I was completely confident, and I said, oh, she also studied a pretty well known, like a known an acting studio in New York.
okay.
So I sent her the audition invite. I usually give people about 2 to 3 days, right? I mean, I know people are working from home, so I want to give in as many times they can to put together a good audition. She
Yeah.
was the first one to send in an audition,
Oh,
and the first thing I see is this. This is the sides, and then she's just like reading, ba 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 ba. Thank you, and then
she's line reading. Are you serious? With that much credits?
so that makes me think, right? How many truths are in her resume? Imagine like theater work is the foundation, and if you do theater work, right, you do your work way before you go on the show, and then you have to keep doing the
Totally.
same thing, like literally bring the same level of energy and quality for 16 shows or something, and then week after
Yeah.
week, right? So you must have a very solid idea on break down your scenes, your character, like that's
Yes.
the ethic in terms of
Yeah,
theater work. I mean,
of
you and
course.
I coming from acting background, and then you're more of a theater person, or me too.
Yeah.
But like we know the work involved. So
Yes.
I was very disappointed. Of course, I could not show that to the creative team, and I don't have time to ask her to redo it because
Yeah.
I don't think if I ask her to redo it, I will get anything. Different.
That's horrible. Yeah, lying on your resume, it's do you honestly, a lot of times as casting directors, we look at those resumes, and sometimes if we really don't think you have the talent to really play those roles, either we will ask and test you out, or we just know that you're faking it. That's just
Well,
crazy
I
how
I
someone's doing
prefer
that.
honesty versus again. I'm not saying the actor lied. It's just that what's on the resume does not reflect what's the work, right?
Yeah.
So that made me question this talent, and I'll remember this talent for a while.
Yes.
So next time, maybe after a year or two, if there's another role that's similar, and if she's interested in auditioning, I will still give her you know, give
Yeah,
her
the second
the
chance, right?
opportunity to audition. But I
Yeah,
better see some kind of improvement, right?
yeah.
Uh, well,
Honestly,
right, yeah, something.
yeah,
Otherwise, I don't have strike three, strike two. That's it for
yeah.
me. Uh,
It's interesting because as casting directors, we look at it. There's three doors you have to knock down in order to get cast in the production, right? And a lot of times, if you don't know anybody, because a lot of time people just hop over to the producer or to the director. But if you don't know anybody and try to break into this industry,
mhm.
casting director is your best bet because we allow, like what Wayne you're saying is that we give another chance or another opportunity if we think you might have potential down the line. And I personally always give opportunities because I also sometimes felt maybe after a year or two this person is still pursuing, maybe he's gonna get better. So yeah, you know, that's how I felt.
Yeah, and I don't know about Tom, but some actors that I work with, sometimes I send an e-blast on agents who are asking me, who will be interested in joining their representation or joining their agency.
Yes.
For those who are looking for representations, get under my radar. Maybe once in a while, when the time comes, you might be able to find representation through me. So
Nice.
that's
See,
that's right. That's how casting can really uh,
yeah.
help actors. I remember when I first started out doing acting, it was a crazy thing. I took a headshot in the bathroom because I did not know better, right? And then I literally randomly submitted a bunch of casting out there, and then I landed a commercial for Prilosec, which is an anti-acid.
Wow.
I know, right? I'm like, what? What? And that's one of the principles. Great, I got the same rate. The interesting thing is that the producer ended up asking an agent to reach out to me and book me. So that agent becomes the middle person. And that's
Yes.
how I got my very first agent.
Nice.
Yeah, I have no idea who this person
For
is. Like,
you.
well, who, what? Oh, you're an agent? Okay, okay. I was so green back then. I was so ungrateful. I could have, you know, sent the agent a thank you note and a producer and something. I was like, no, I'm going to go and grab my money and then done. But
Right.
like things like that can happen. You know,
Yes.
so
Yes.
so so yes, casting
Yes.
director, they are you know again we
I've
are
also
teams.
gotten a lot of that referrals. Like a lot of people, a lot of actors have reached out to me and asked, "Oh, what do you think about this casting agent? Not casting, this agency, this talent agency, or that talent agency?" And if I have worked with them before, because do you know there's a lot of agencies out there? I believe it's probably what 500 to 700 or even more.
Yeah, especially during pandemic, a lot of the
Yeah,
agents are jumping ship or start their own business. Either
yeah,
agents turn manager, manager go to agents, or
believe it.
casting going to agents, right? so, so there's a lot more. And honestly, during the pandemic, because I wasn't doing a lot of casting, right?
Yeah,
For about 7 to 8 months during that time, a lot has happened. And now doing casting, I was like, whoa, whoa, all these new companies are merging. I have no idea who the companies are, but when I search, I search everything. When I
yeah.
search the agent's name, it's oh, okay. No, this person was from another agency. I remember, that 2 years ago. You
I
know,
also have some gossips that's probably behind the closed door. I can share with you about my own agency, that the drama that had happened.
the next
But
live. Next
mhm,
live will be invite only. How
if
does
you
that?
want to watch
You
that,
need
please
to have
subscribe
passcode to
this.
look at to drink the tea with
Yeah.
us.
No, but Judy has a question.
Okay.
No, I think this question we can totally answer you because we both had experienced that. Have you ever refused to do a job because the role perpetuates stereotypes or was offensive to you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
All the time.
All the time. Again, and like like Tom, my
Describe,
coach,
like, yeah, let's talk a
I
little bit
am
about.
privileged that I can say I can turn down projects, and I only work on projects that I'm passionate about. I have faith in the productions. I have faith in the material, right?
Mhm.
I'm not, because a lot of my work. I mean, my projects are, even though I do episodics and films, I also do a lot of independent projects and art
Yeah.
house and experimental. I did a lot of those, and those are exciting to work on. Yes, and I have people approach me with scripts. I may have mentioned this to you during our last
Mm.
live, but I know we talked about it when we first met in New York. At the Korean coffee shop. Yeah, like this is a good example. I have a producer come in with a nice script. Everything seems very nice, and then in the script itself, they didn't specify, the ethnicity of the character, but just the name, general age, and an idea. So I wrote back and said, "Oh, great! This is fun. So these are some of my ideas on how we can scope out this project." And then the producer kind of like, "Well, I was hoping that we can get a more American look, right?" And I said, I said, "Well, can you define to me what do you mean by American look?"
Yes.
And they said Caucasian. And then I just said,
Any other kind of Caucasian, right? When usually are saying that, people are saying like that, they want blue eyes and golden hair.
"Well,
That
obviously they
in
didn't read
my
my website, right? They didn't read
yeah,
my website, and they probably didn't realize I'm Chinese. Like, how dare you ask an ethnic casting director doing all white project?"
isn't
I'm
it?
like, I'm of course I can cast, but like, to me that does not excite me.
Mm-mm.
I am not providing opportunities for my brothers and sisters out there.
Yeah,
And to me, all American, it's like we come in all shapes and sizes and shades, right? And in New York, come on. So I politely, turned the person down, to say that I'm not the right person for your project. I did not. It's not my. I did not teach them a lesson or tell them my thoughts, because
yeah,
it's not my job. I mean, they can burn their own bridge down the road. I'm sure they will. We may
yeah.
already have. But I did provide some suggestions for other casting of office in New York that they can reach out, because I know they might be suitable for their budget range.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like I said, nobody comes to me. There's never really a dead end unless they
Oh
are
yeah.
rude. But they were not being rude to me. They just didn't know better. So,
Yeah, I most of my projects are coming from Asia. So there are times where we want the commercial to look very out there, and it's much harder to actually get all these Asian in there. They usually just need one or two sometimes with the commercial. But this is the Asian production that we're talking about, right? They just want to look more international. And by international, it's outside of what they always look at. So that's one of the things that when we look at the project itself, if we cast all Asians in America, but the commercial is going to air in China, it does not look any different than a production in China.
uh,
And
yeah,
that's
I think that's one of the misconception.
mhm.
Of you and I both being labeled, right? The Asian casting director.
Yeah,
A lot of us out there, actually, guys. There's a lot more Asian casting directors out there than you know. Um, and then,
but
because
you
of
know,
working
like we
Asian
don't.
productions,
Uh-huh.
technically, when we are hired, right, we cast local talents to
Yeah.
represent New York or LA. So most of the the roles we have to cast are non-Asians.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's the thing, right? So that's one misconception. Like when we cast everything.
Yeah.
And number two, yes, it's also good for Asian actors to be under our radar, right? Because you
Mm-hmm.
never know. We could do replacement casting is if the Chinese or Asian or Japanese lead having visa problem, schedule conflict, they change their mind, right? Or the producer decided not to use or not don't want to fly in an actor from overseas because of COVID, whatever reason, right? Usually we had to replace the lead or the major support, and that's when the local talents become valuable to us. It's just an Asian production, and usually with Asian leads, right? And that's where being under our radar would be very, very helpful.
Yeah. And because, we have our benefit just because everyone's misconceptions about Asian casting directors only cast Asians. But because of that idea, as an actor, it's best to actually know Asian casting directors because we have a lot of projects that just happen always throwing to us looking for Asian actors.
Yeah. So here's the thing about Asian production: anything can change at any time, any minute, right? Any seconds.
Yes.
So, and then and also too, what I do in New York is that I'm the firefighters, right? A lot of the production producers, social producers, or second AD, first AD met me from previous production. A film can contract with a casting director to do their stars, the co-star, whatever. So in a contract, they're only responsible for certain roles. Some casting directors either not open on weekends, they close office at 6 p.m., or they don't do replacement casting. So if your actor got sick, right, and you're alert that sickness at 8 p.m., the agent is sleeping, what do?
You're out of luck.
You're out of luck. So they call Weng Chang or text Weng Chang at middle of the night asking for help, right? So that's another thing I do a lot. So if you check on my IMDb, you'll see I do a lot of additional casting. That's what it is. It's me saving their asses, right? So we do a lot of that, and it happens quite frequent for a lot of Asian productions, So sometimes the actor may not even have to audition. They can just do like, hey, this is how my hair is going to look. My name is my height, and I'm available tomorrow. And a little slave video is sufficient to do the part. So
I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so as you were mentioning about auditions, right? We want to talk a little bit about, I personally want to know about your process when it comes to, your worst memories when it comes to audition, and what's your ideal audition?
Okay, so I can share. Worst audition. I have a good story to share. This happens. This happened many years ago on an independent feature film that consists a lot of Filipino talents. Very exciting. Like, I love the concept. The film come out great. It's driven off Filipinos, and for me, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't have any Filipino friends. I make a lot of friends that day. Anyways, the film has other roles as well. Of course, it's a very diverse cast. Good. So I was much younger, and my patience are much better.
Okay.
And then at that time too, for me, I said, I'll do what I can to really help the actor to do their best, right? So I ended up spending a lot more time than I should on each person's audition, right? So what happened is that there's a line started built outside of the audition studio. I didn't. That's my fault, right? I said, oh, if you didn't, you can do it better. Do it one more time, one more take. Now I learned after 2 takes, if you cannot save them, nobody can save them, right? So it happened for a couple hours in the morning, and then I started to hear people complaining outside. And when I opened the door, I was like, oh my effing G. There's people are sitting on the ground waiting. People. I freaked out. Okay, I apologize to them. So you know what? I'm just gonna run through. I'm gonna skip lunch. I'm gonna run through everything.
Yeah.
So as I did that, then there's one actor. Uh, the person came in. Um, Everything's okay. We just okay. We'll do the take twice. The person did a decent job. As soon as I said, okay, we got the take, we got a good take. The person grabbed the coat, walked out, and slammed the door.
Like,
Bang! And then Kristen, I mentioned my friend Kristen a lot because she's also freelance as my casting assistant.
yeah.
She literally is like, I can see her eyes filming, and she's like, "What the H is that?"
Yeah. Rude.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's partly my fault, but I apologize. I did my best, right?
Yeah.
And with that, I went back to my camera and delete the take.
Good for you.
Yeah, I don't want that person to go on set and treat director producers like that.
Totally.
And,
Totally. I
right?
do the same.
You
Yeah.
know, if you don't have the patience, the worst thing is that email me later. I will tell you, complain to your agents and go do what you need to do outside, right? And then if you can do a self tape, that's fine. If you want to just complain
Yeah.
to your
You
agent,
can
say,
be
"Hey, Wayne was too
nice about
slow
it.
for more than 20 minutes. It's ridiculous." Then
Yeah.
that's fine. I'll take the hit. That's okay.
You
You
know
know.
what's funny? Because we have to look at all of you, right? So if you're down the 80th of one, we still try to put up our persona and try to give you all we have to make sure you have a great presentation. No matter how long it is, we're still there for you. We are the first door to this production, right?
Well,
So the fact
yeah.
that you're being rude like that,
So
cut.
yeah. So another thing happened on the same day, same production.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
this is a fun one. And a lot of actors like that like to do that. I had to say a lot of green actors or actors who just doesn't have a lot of respect or professionalism. So what happened is that audition studios, like I don't know if space stations there, kind of like that. You have a bunch of rooms, people rent certain hours.
I hear
So
you.
that day, the studio I was renting is actually a very popular one. It's
Okay.
closed now, but it was very popular at the time, and so of course other movies and commercials are doing their own casting as well, right? So there was one actor who are doing not my list. He was doing another casting and he's done and he saw I'm casting something. So he grabbed Kristen, who's signing people in, asking her, "Oh, do they need someone like me? Can I audition?" Kristen says, "Oh no, look at the look at the lines. We don't we don't we
We
can't we
don't
don't have the
get
time.
this
We
one.
just
Yeah.
can't. We just can't." And then and then we go through a couple people, and then when Kristen went outside to grab the next person, oh, that person's still there, but he is taking a copy of one of the sides, right? And then Kristen politely told him, "No, we don't have the time." And then Kristen signaled me, "Wayne, why do you tell him?" And I said, "Oh no, we just don't have the time." I still remember this person's name. Okay, this is like 12 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. I, yeah.
What, was he a creep or was he just
He
really
just
want to
wanted to
audition?
audition. I guess
Okay.
I don't know. Want the opportunity. He know nothing about the character. He know nothing about the production. What if he's non-paid, right?
Yeah.
He know nothing, but he just want to audition. And then I said no, play so no, and then we'll do one person. The next actor went out, and then he walked into the door.
That's just rude.
And Kristen tried to like, no. He said, no. He literally said, walk inside. He said, let me do this. I'm about to leave soon, but but let me, I just want to audition. And
And
at that point, I said, okay. So I set my camera, and I said, okay, let's do it. And he did 2 takes. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I have your name on the signing sheet. And once he's gone, and Christian's like, well, what are you doing? I said, I didn't even hit the on button.
yeah.
Camera. But I had to do it to get him to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't record shit, right?
Follow the rules,
Are you
people.
going to beat the S out? No.
Follow the rules, actors. I mean, that's the one
No.
thing. Be
Again, but
respectful.
a lot of actors out there will be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that happens." It happened, and it happened several times after throughout the year. You'll get some people like that.
I have experienced a lot of them, especially when there's like what you said, those different audition rooms for different projects, and people are just like hopping auditions, and
Yeah.
then they just like go around and do it. Usually my projects, I just let them do it. But the sad part is they're not any good because they did not study the characters whatsoever. A lot of times when it comes to commercials, I let them do it because for commercial wise, it's just a look. So I wouldn't bother to take the time. Usually the people are come in and out in 2 minutes, so I have a lot of time that happens. I do have a story to share regard something similar to that. Um, but it's not doing audition. It's after the audition, and these actors got cast on the project, and they start talking behind my back because sometimes our production, sometimes our audition, like you said, it takes forever to just wait there. And then apparently these actors who were on set, they were chatting about how long the audition takes was. And then they would be like, "Oh, I don't think he's professional. I don't think he does his job." But the whole entire crew is my people.
No, we
So they,
should.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they ended up telling me about this. So I knew these people, and of course they are on my blacklist now because they'll be like, "Why would you do that?"
Well, to clarify it, we don't have a blacklist because it's illegal, but we have a naughty list there.
Yeah, we have we have a do not do not cast again list.
Right, like I mentioned earlier, the ADs, the DP, the associate producer knows us.
Yeah.
Well, even though casting takes place in pre-production and we're rarely on set during the production,
Yes.
but we know what happens on set
And
because
the
they
more
need to teach us
drama
what
is,
happens on set, right?
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they usually complain, right, about
yeah,
someone's behavior. So that's important. It's like just even you have something bad to say, make sure that you are not doing the production. Say it with your actor friends when you are having lunch. Coffee,
yeah.
okay?
Just don't say anything bad in general. I mean, why would you do that? Sometimes you should
Oh,
look
tea
at
and
the
gossip.
problem with.
I'm fine. We're not perfect, right?
Yeah,
It's just
but
that
I think
we had to protect your future in the industry, and people do talk.
yeah.
So when you go on set, just be professional, do what you're supposed to do, leave the
Mhm.
dramas at home, and then when you're offset, sure, you can go, you know, with
You can
Facebook
have
messaging your
cocktail
acting
and
friends
yeah,
about Wayne Chang taking forever to do auditions. Wayne Chang, this and that. That's
or
okay. You keep it to yourself. Yeah.
or Tom doesn't even care about their talents, and then they run like 280 of them in a day.
Why not? Yeah. Again, So yeah,
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 this happens.
it
Hey,
happens.
Judy asked this question. I don't know Roger Fan, but do you know Roger Fan?
Roger
He
Fan.
wrote an interesting essay online years ago about how cutthroat it was for him to get roles and how he couldn't get roles even after Better Luck Tomorrow.
Oh,
He's from Better Luck Tomorrow,
yeah.
but I don't
I
know
just
the story.
IMDb him. When I see you say yes, Roger. Of course, I don't know him personally, but now I know. So what do you say?
So he wrote an interesting essays about how cutthroat it was for him to get roles and
Yeah,
how he couldn't get them.
like I
I
mentioned earlier, back in the
think-
'90s, right? There's not a whole lot thing I can do, right?
Mhm.
So at that time, right, during the Better Luck Tomorrow time, there's not a lot. The Better Luck Tomorrow is one of the very, very few films that are directed by an Asian with a pretty much 98% Asian cast, like very few, right?
Yeah.
And it's a low budget project, and I'm glad that it was successful. Was it through MTV? Was it? Yeah, they had a platform to really reach a broader audience. So that was in the 90s. Yes, a lot of my actor friends who started with me may agree that we're all auditioning just to book the lawyer role. That one day player role in a TV show, right, was never really the lead. Even with a lot of guest stars that are mostly non-Asians, right? If you
Yeah.
look at the early days of Law and Order, right, you'll
Yeah.
notice maybe in the whole season there's like 12, 13, 14 episodes. Maybe in one episode you'll have a bigger Asian person who
Yeah.
not dead, right?
Yeah.
But as you see, as the time goes, there's a lot more Asians out there, a lot of characters that are not Asian specific. I do think things are a lot better now.
Oh, way better now.
For the last 5 years, right?
Yes.
It keeps getting better. A lot of the network are enforcing the diversity in their products, right?
Yes.
The projects.
Yeah.
Also, too, of the international market of
Yeah.
Netflix streaming platform, they need to secure, interest the viewers from other countries. So
Yeah.
the more visually identified people they can squeeze in a
Yeah.
show will only help.
Yeah.
So I'm
Asians
pretty
is
sure
the
that
money.
if Roger Family is still out there hustling like all of us, he would have gotten more project. But look at his IMDb now, right? The last
Yeah.
thing he done is 2018,
I see.
right? So what is he doing now? We don't know,
I don't
right?
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Um,
his
yeah.
IMDb score might be higher than ours.
It doesn't matter. But the thing is that, like,
Yeah.
if I want to find out what happened to an actor, I'll look at the IMDb just to see if there's anything new, right? Is this person still active,
Yeah.
right? So that's that. I mean, I see
IMDb is so
agency.
important nowadays where, everyone just check on you and try to Google you and to see who you are as a person, as an actor.
It's important to do research, right? So if I had to pitch Roger Fan for a project, I need to say something that he's done recently,
Hmm.
right? If the agent did not get back to me or the manager did not get back to me, say, hey, I want to pitch your client for this pilot, right? That I'm working on.
Yeah.
One of the four leads, I think that he has the look, he has the type, right? And then we'll have the agents. Oh, he retired.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend the time to write that email to
Yeah.
find out. I'll first look at their IMDb, right, and then I'll pull something. I'll pull the resume for Access Access. To me, an active actor should always babysit their Access Access resume, their IMDb credits. Make sure that that's part of their tools, their
Yeah.
marketing tools. If I see this one have
Here.
not done something for the last 4 years, I'm probably gonna pitch another active person
Someone else.
to
Yeah.
to my clients. Hey, look at that, James. Have you
Yeah.
seen the comeback?
Yeah.
Like someone I know, right? And for people that we don't know, that not big out there yet. At least I see IMDb. Oh, this person's still active working. So that means, if I do pitch this person, if I give an audition invite, this person will not waste our time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree with the same thing, because when people are asking, recently we have been asked on the same project that we're looking for a specific person. And, there's always these people that would just come to our mind. And just so happened that it's really limited with what she was asking for. But just that mindset that we always have this library when you are asking me to give you some people or give you some ideas, we always have people in mind. And then it's you as an actor, how can you get not the bad way, but the positive way to get inside our head so we can pitch to someone when they ask for specific roles. And because of
Yes.
that, you know, for those of you who just got in here, I am talking to casting director Weng from the East Coast, and I think we are about to do some acting demo reviews.
Yeah. Who's
Are
first?
you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. First come, first serve. I think Tim was the one who first submit
Yeah.
and then I am going to put all the description after putting all the links in the description after our live stream's over. So you can check them out, give them some traction, give them some traffic, and, share and like all of their contents too.
Yeah. Please do. And
We
I'll,
all need
yeah,
to help each other with this.
I'll apologize in advance. I'm a straight shooter. I don't have a lot of filter for me.
I'll be the white face and you can be the bad guy.
There you go. Right, the good guys and the white guy, right?
Yeah, I'll be the bad. You can be the bad cop. I'll be the good cop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but do you have before we start, Wayne, do you have anything that you look at when it comes to demo reel?
Casting, at least for me,
Yeah.
I don't look at the reels. I don't have to.
Oh, thanks.
Because I think a reel is most effective if an actor is looking for a representation, right? Because if an acting reel showcases this actor's work, either body of the work, or their range, or the look, right? Through of them, like their whole packaging. For casting directors, I think we're all more project oriented. So we are only looking for something that fits a role.
Yes.
Right? For agents or managers, they want to see diversity or a wide range of skill set.
Right.
Or the acting skill. Right? So they feel more confident that you can book more gigs for them and they can get their 10%. So I think that's one of the things that how a reel is important. However, we do use reels if for me at least, want to push an actor, try to convince a director or creative team. Right? If the actor's audition reel is fine, is missing on the look visually, right? The visual is not there. And if there's something I can cut and edit from the reel, I will, and then show them that footage.
That's how I use the reel. Like when I really want to pitch to the director, when the director has some mindset of some people who they probably is not gonna fit, but it's just because they wanted that person. But you have someone better, then you use that reel to help.
Yeah, so that will become again, an actor should eliminate any other possibilities to jeopardize your opportunity to book something, right? Same thing about reel. The reel is your tool, or a tool to use. So I don't really have anything particular that I'm looking for in an acting reel, but we need to see range, right? Like the usual, what you can do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The quality is secondary. It's literally like what you can do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then we'll put Tim Liu on the test. If Tim, you're here, we're about to review your reel with the public. Yeah, and just a disclaimer. This is just our perspective. We don't say it for every casting directors out there. Okay, enjoy.
Look, this is how I see it. All right, if you're sick, you go to a doctor, right? I mean, if you're nuts, you go to a shrink. If you need money, you go to a bank or a loan company. And if someone rips off your cash, and you don't got no friends that take care of it, you go to the cops, you let them take care of it. Why not? Right? Why the fuck do we not go to the cops?
Because they're business.
Bullshit. It's my money too.
Come on,
God,
Steve.
Look, we're no closer than when we first started. All right? In fact, I'm even more confused. I don't even know this guy we're talking about.
He didn't take the money. We're gonna get it back. Man, why are you so hard about the money? I'll give you the money.
Jeez, get the fuck out.
I'll give you my money.
No, I don't want your fucking money, man.
你收拾好了吗？今晚如果你不想走也没关系。But I wanted to talk to you about your mother. 听说你妈现在赚钱没以前多了。我知道，你想多陪她和外婆在纽约待一会儿，挺好。但别忘了，你要为自己着想。洛杉矶这里机会很多，而且你跟我住一阵子，能减轻你妈的压力，对不对？好，就这样了，给我打电话，拜拜。
看到他清秀的容貌，不知道我这样有没有帮他？希望我对吧？
Okay. So the last footage, Love Express, is how I met him.
Good for you.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to go first?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Why, you wanted to yeah, have the good cop talk first. No, honestly, I really like the reel. I think it really showcases, especially when you put NBC on there. You know, it definitely brings out how a producer would want to cast you because you have been on those big TV shows. One thing I would say is I want more of you. Because when it comes to the first demo reel, I see more of the girl because the girl was the movement. So I think we can definitely edit more to your close-up. When I look at reels, I really like to look at the general sense of the whole entire scene, but more of your close-up because we want to see you first. Like the first face we should see is you. Not someone else, but you. So I think the scene is great, but there are some point of views is your back. So I feel like it is a complete scene, but I feel we're not seeing a lot of the range that you're in because it's all your back. And then we see a lot of girls. Like the first person that came into my mind was, oh, that girl was moving around a lot. Yeah, but the second, when it comes to the second one, I liked it. I think the way that you just have the whole scene together with the grandpa, that's a dad, right?
That's a Jeff Lee.
Yeah,
Hi,
but
Martinez.
that's the dad, right?
I think
I
so.
don't,
I think so.
don't know. Yeah, okay. I like that scene. I think that scene is really strong and even stronger than the first scene to portray who you are as a character or as a person. Definitely NBC has a bigger name, but that scene really brings out your character, in my opinion. And then give you a wider range of how to play all these characters. The third scene is the one that you're playing in front of the mirror. I like what you do. I like what the scene is doing for you because it has a lot of internal struggles when you just look into the mirror. So that scene is good. But I don't know. For me, the inner struggles can be a little bit too long when someone else is talking. So that's one thing that when I look at a reel, close up, dialogue, range of emotions, and try to edit as much of others. That's usually what I do with my reels. So that's, and the
Okay.
last one is too short, but I love that close up. That close up actually show so much of you that I think if there's a chance, you should put it in the front.
Well,
But it's
shout
in
out
China.
to the director Patrick Chen if you're watching this.
Yeah, I mean, but it's in Chinese, so that is a disadvantage.
Well,
A lot of times I try to put not as many other dialect, because when people are looking at the reel, they want you to be able to speak English. Sad Hollywood, but hey, you're capable of speaking Chinese.
good. Yeah. Okay. Well, my thoughts is a little bit different than yours.
Go for
I have two questions for you.
it. Okay.
How do you feel about reel that starts with an actor's headshot? Like Weng Chang, boom, there's a face, and then you go into the reel.
I usually hop over it. I mean, I usually just kind of close my eyes and open it. So it's almost look at as a transition. It doesn't really matters to me. To
Okay.
me, it doesn't really matter.
All right. So the second question is kind of like what you mentioned earlier, or what will catch the producers. Do you feel if the actor should put their biggest role first, or the biggest project first? For example, biggest role, you have the bigger character, the best acting first, or you have a scene where you have a one line with Meryl Streep. But that's the biggest project first.
As an actor, I put okay. So as an actor myself, when I do my reel, I put the most recent reel, the most bigger people, like what you said, the bigger cast reel that I have to interact with. Then I put whatever I can to get the best look in there.
Okay.
That's how I look at my own reel. Yeah.
I think that's what Tim did here, right? The New Amsterdam's
Yeah.
the biggest gig that he
Yeah.
has. I agree. And I think especially that's a full scene. I don't really care about the girl that much because I'm looking at him. And
Yes.
again, I'm always observing what he can do. So he showcases comedy, his comic timing, right? Playing the character. So I don't feel that he should edit anything out. It's a complete scene, and then the acting is there, and he carried the scene. He bounced a lot with the girl. He bounced off quite well with the rhythm, right? So that's good. That definitely catch my eyes. And then I think if I show that to a director or a producer, they were like, "Oh, New Amsterdam, I watched that show." Something they recognize, they can connect. The scene with Jeff. So that's yes, that's the bigger acting scene, right? He literally showcased a lot. I personally find that a little too long, right? Because that did a little longer. So I will trim it down if you choose to. But again, this is like a showcase reel, right? So if you want to include a full scene in there, great. Otherwise, I will probably cut that in half somewhere, just to get things moving. The summer night, the one in the mirror, was it Flushing Summer, something like that?
What do you think about people putting names on their projects?
That's fine, perfect. They should to honor the project.
Okay.
But like just the name, you don't need to put like directed by that. You know, I think very wordy reels that they put all the credits there. I'm like, what? You know, this letter A is over your face, not even like do you justice. You know, it's not helping you. So for the search thing with the mirror, honestly, that he can take it out. That and the scene with the conversation with the grandpa or the father, even though they are both dramatic on a different subject matter, but to me it's the same wavelength. I see the comedy, I see the dramatic. I don't need to see a self-conflict. That can move it to the end, right? You can still keep it, but I might not watch the whole thing, right? The director will definitely not watch the whole thing. So
but if they see the NPC, they'll be like, book it.
Because we saw the dramatic conversation between father and son, right?
Yes.
We already see the dramatic chop there, the frustration, the anger, right?
Yeah.
We don't need to milk that more. And then
Yes.
for the last clip where he speaks Chinese, it is important to have a foreign language in there, right? For me, at least, I know, okay, he may not be 100% fluent, but he can do it.
Yep.
It's workable. So
That's
definitely, if you have foreign language, special skills, squeeze those in. So that's totally fine to me.
What happened to if the real no if the project after it's 80 dubbed by another foreign language, what do you do with that reel?
So that's the thing, right? When I was watching the third footage, someone else is doing the talking.
Yeah.
If I did not know Tim, I thought that was an internal monologue, right? So I was,
That
oh,
was his
I
voice,
was
right?
expecting him to speak like that. Thank God he added the fourth clip of him talking, so we know his Mandarin Chinese skill, right? So he's not gonna struggle, in round two. If he committed to round one to round two, when you set the expectation from the production that high, if he cannot get to the fluency level, that's going to be a disappointment for the creative team, and that'll be a disservice for him, even though he did everything he could, as an actor.
Right.
But if they're looking for someone who was born in China, lived in China, and came to the United States literally 2 months ago. You cannot sound like that. You just can't. Doesn't matter you get a dialogue coach or not. You just, unless you literally don't sleep, don't eat, literally just work on enunciation nonstop or something like that.
You're
And then
talented.
when you audition against another person like you and I, we just say blah 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 blah, we're done. So that's gonna be a disservice for him. So I would not encourage anything that's dubbed over that might imply you could be the person who speak the part.
Right. You know what I did?
If a voice is a female, then I'm okay, right? Because I know that's not him.
Yeah. You know what happened with a trick when I go to audition as an actor myself, when they are looking for Mandarin speakers? When I go into the audition, I speed up my Chinese to a point that people literally don't understand what I'm saying. Because most of the time, people need to know that, oh, you are fluent in it. But if they can feel like you're slowing yourself down by talking, by announcing your words in that language, they might think you are faking it.
Depends on who's running the audition, right? If I audition for you, I speed up my Chinese. I don't think
Yes.
you know I speed up on purpose, right? So that's that. But again, there's some exceptions. Like I know Vanessa Bantai. If you're not watching this, hi Vanessa, I hope you're okay. She is, of course, she's not Chinese, and she auditioned for a Chinese film before, and this is 2017. She blew me away. Like she literally speak like a native, and she memorized all her lines. When she did the audition, again, it's amazing to me. I was shocked how accuracy of her diction, and she said she worked for her mom on that. I'm like, Vanessa, that's why I still remember her. Right? After all these years, I still remember her because of the hard work she did. I was so impressed. So yes, it can happen, to the point. But that means that that's in an audition, that's in an audition scenario, right? So if I look at her reel and she speak Thai, right, and audition and then coming out to speaking in Mandarin Chinese, that would be the wow. I didn't realize you can speak the language that well. And she said, she memorized it. She might not know the meaning, but she memorized everything, right? So that's the work. But again, talking to the reel, like your reel should be a representation of what you can do, So anything dubbing, for people who don't know you, that would be a disadvantage.
That could be a problem. Yeah.
Right. Either that you're gonna have to study like Vanessa.
I have a few roles that I speak Cantonese, but I had to memorize those. I can't speak Cantonese.
In my acting days, I had to do for experimental film. I had to learn French.
Oh wow!
Horrible. with a non-Asian language.
Oh,
You know, I can do a lot of Asian accents, English,
yeah.
but if you ask me to learn Italian, French, that I struggle with it so much. At the end, my French director is like, "I will dub your voice."
Oh,
It sounds so bad.
that's
Yeah.
not something that you want to hear.
No, I know I couldn't. I tried, but I just could not. I don't have that talent. My language skill is not that. My
Same.
tongue doesn't work that way.
No,
Yeah.
I can hear different dialect in Asian. I think
Yeah.
in Asia, right?
Yeah,
So when it comes to Spanish, French, and Portuguese, I'm like, what?
Yeah, some people are great with those. I know
Yeah.
if Eileen, if you're watching this, your daughter, right? She did a Scottish English accent in front of us, and she was amazing, just because she can do it. But I cannot do a Scottish English accent.
Yeah. My sister can do a very well British accent.
Yeah. Some people can.
Yeah.
I just don't. I personally don't have, don't have that.
Just a quick note. Aren't you supposed to go somewhere right
Yeah,
now?
I was gonna try to wrap up this conversation, so I can help my
You
dog.
go do you, and then I'll bring you back in. Let me answer some questions, or let me do some.
Yeah, so
magic
I'm just gonna have my camera. I'm gonna mute
Yeah.
my mic, so you're not
It's
gonna hear
okay.
the dog.
I'll just remove you for now, and then you can just come back in.
Okay, all right then.
Okay. Well, so this is what happened. Wayne has something he needs to be done for a couple minutes, so that's why we're here, and we're trying to answer some of your questions. If you have questions, please leave in the comments right now. Maybe when Wayne get back, I can ask him all over about it. What's up with my OBS? Hold on, let me move my camera a little bit. Nice. So how's everyone today, by the way? I am just here by myself doing live stream again. Today I am chatting with Weng Chang. He's a East Coast casting director who has done casting for many, many years. He's definitely has done more projects than I do. I think if I would say about my own experience, I think I have 5 years experience in casting. I don't know how many years he has. But hey, you know what? If you want to check out Wayne's credits, let's do it right now. Let me see. Okay, hold on. I am going to share my IMDb screen of Wayne, and we can check it out together. Voila! Wayne's probably like, don't do this right now. But Wayne is an actor, casting director. He's been in the casting department, known for The Farewell, additional crew. Oh, I really want to ask about that, by the way. Keep forgetting. There's all these projects. If you want to look him up on IMDb, here is the name I highlighted. He said we shouldn't look at his reel because it's old. So, but look at his like all these projects that he has done over time. He is someone you should know if you're in the East Coast. But he also do a lot of projects in the West Coast. So, hey, perfect. If you have any questions, please leave in the comment. We're going to jump to another reel later. We'll probably look at Lane's first. Is it Lane or Lan? Lan Zhong? Yeah. That's her reel. Oh, let's say hi to some of the people here. Hello, Judy. Are you still here? Judy is a great supporter of my YouTube channel, and she has her own YouTube that talks a lot about legal focus. So she's literally Asian American legal focus. So go Google her if you would like to follow her on YouTube. I have a story that I would love to share right now, since Wayne is not here. when he was talking about his voice audition scenarios and stories, I had my early days where you think there was a casting couch, right? But I don't have a couch. But there were some actors that wanted to do a little bit more when they come to audition, and you thought it would only happen on TV, but it actually, when it happens to me, I was shocked. There was this, I was looking, okay, so this project was back in the day, about 4 years ago, when I first starting out for casting. And this girl, I was looking for a role of a young girl, not teenager, but teenager looking girl for this short film. She wore a tank top, a very short skirt. It's almost like cheerleaders, right? That type of outfit. But there's this huge cut in front of her boobs. And I always asked for resume back then, not anymore. Maybe I was traumatized. But when she delivered her resume, she did that push of her chest in front of me when she put down the resume and get really close. I was just sitting like about the same distance right now. And she was literally like sliding slow in front of me, as if she was trying to push her boobs in front of me. I mean, she didn't know I was gay that time, but that's when I did that awkward pushback. And then immediately I was like, okay, this actress, I cannot use her. She's too of a opportunist, right? Is that how you say it? Yeah. So I didn't do that. And the same thing happened with another project the next year. A guy, he was, okay, in my defense, he was really hot. Okay. I think he was really hot, attractive. But I was looking for a guy who was more smarter in their looks. So maybe like when you come to audition, you look like you have glasses, you have more of a dress-up shirt or a plaid shirt. Someone who's a little bit nerdy. Okay, so I think that's what the director was looking for. Someone who's a little bit nerdy, but he came in with like a very tight white t-shirt and like a little bit of like on the skinny sides with the jeans. He's really tall. He was about 6'3", I think. And he was sitting on the chair, ready to do the audition. And I asked him to do it more like a nerd. But that was not the direction I was going for. I was open to any kind of things that he threw at me. So the first time when I asked was, just do the scene the way that you look at it or the way you portray it. When he did it, he was probably sitting very properly, like oh, immediately I thought, oh, he got the character. And as he was doing the scene, he was seducing. I think he was seducing me. He literally was like slowly opening his legs wide and start rubbing his knees around his, his body to his trunk. And then, later on, just like slowly moving his neck. And after the first scene, after the first time, I was like, done. I need to get this guy out. First of all, he was not the perfect role for this, and also I think he was looking at this audition the wrong way. So, yep. So definitely a casting chair, like what Wayne was saying.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of couch here.
Did
unless
you
you own an
have those
office, you have a
moments
couch.
before? Did you have those moments before where actors was being a little bit inappropriate?
I had to say, I had to do a casting call in LA once. Like last time we spoke briefly, I said, yeah, in New York, right, I can probably do 1 day and I'm done with my session, but I had to do 2 days and in LA that one time. I don't have those moments. However, I had to say a lot of the actors would know how to dress in a way that are not totally revealing, but revealing.
No, I know what you're talking about.
But the role does not call for that. They'll come in dressing in a way that, the weather's not that hot,
Not compared to mine, I bet.
I don't have anyone that will spread their legs. No, not like that. That's I would be like, you got to be kidding me.
You have no idea. He was wearing the white jeans too. So that was the
white jeans.
Yeah, white tight jeans.
It's not an LA thing. White jeans, you get really dirty. Like if you wear white jeans in New York, it's out on the subway, it's gonna be great. Like literally in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. But that's just crazy. That's just my experience back in the days. I haven't seen those in ages, but I do know what you're talking about, the inappropriate outfits when it comes to auditions, because auditions, if you have to dress the part sometimes. For theater, okay, so sometimes theater, I think the director has more of a wider concepts when it comes to, they really want to see someone who can act. So you can come in without really dressing the part. But for LA, for film, they only want to see a lot of people who are dressed the part. I had one time when people are looking for Santa Claus, and you literally see Santa Clauses lining up in the casting, like on the casting bench, and then just waiting for their part. And every Santa Claus knows each other. Yeah.
And you know what? I had to cast a mobile phone commercial 4 years ago. It was for Christmas. It's a Christmas campaign. You can probably see it on YouTube. Same thing. I had to cast a Santa Claus. Yeah, all the Santa Claus knows each other, and they're all real Santa Clauses.
Yeah.
Either do live events or they done other gigs. And we have reels, we have print ads to prove them. And yeah.
Yeah. It's just so wonderful. And then they were looking for elves too, and then all these elves with outfits.
Thank God I don't need to cast children for elves. We don't need them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now you're back, and my awkward stories has put it out there. Let's watch Lan Zhang, right?
Lan Zhang, yeah.
Okay, let's watch her reel.
Were you waiting for me?
I don't know. Do you want me to?
Well, next time if I'm late, Don't wait up.
多为了他，思念着他。
喂，博涵，
哎，是我。
我好像撞鬼了。我刚刚到地下室倒垃圾，可是我现在怎么走也走不出去了。
你这是遇到鬼打墙了。
啊，鬼打墙？那我怎么办呀？
往你的座椅。
喂，喂喂。大飞当时喝多了，那天晚上都3点多了吧。他嘴里一直说着要给倩倩买蛋挞，谁也拦不住。也不知道他居然是开车去的，结果油门当刹车，撞树上了。
Kimchi and tofu? Again?
I just can't find any other vegan food I like around here.
Or maybe you just like Korean food more.
Maybe I just like one Korean more.
야, 너 왜 중국이랑 밥 먹어?
Chen， 你给我从里面讲过。
儿子，你听我说，你如果现在进去，警察会把你抓起来，然后他们会发现你是非法移民，你懂不懂？哎呀！
King 5? Come on, you forgot to have a king. Well, fuck it. I'm here to play. Son of a bitch.
All right.
Thoughts? Your turn first.
Well, I think Lan Zhong, she moved to LA this week. So keep her on your radar, Tom.
Of course.
Okay. Okay. So overall, great. I really like, she put her body of work. She had very different genres, but I might reorder the footage a little bit. I like the first clip because it's very eye-catching. You probably don't need the line down reel, that little flashy thing. You can save it towards the end. That's okay. Because if we're already watching it, we know it's a reel. So you don't need to tell us it's a reel, right? Yeah. So so that's that. The second footage, I will probably move that towards the end, or I may not include it at all. Just because
the circle, right?
The one with the Gui Chang, the horror film.
Yeah.
Even though it's a horror film genre, it doesn't really showcase you that well, just because the lighting was
too dark.
It's a little too dark, and we've already seen other footage. You can speak Chinese, so that horror film thing might not be an advantage as a second video. To make it towards the end, for people who keep watching, want to learn more about you, they will see it. But for creative team who don't have the patience to go through 3 minutes or the reel, that's not going to help you. I will probably move tips, the one you kissing the other girl, to the second footage, but I will cut the opening. Starts with you leaning against the door. Cut her out. So you open the scene, right? We don't give a f what's happening,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
We get it. It's kissing, seduction, right? Chinese versus Korea in a restaurant, whatever. But cut that girl's thing out and you start with that because that shows seduction, shows control in your character, right? And you showcase your Chinese a little bit, right? Your third video, I think it could be the one where we're standing outside in the rain. That one is speaking Mandarin Chinese. I think that's a great look because it's totally different look for you. It's mature, but it's natural, right? So that's a different look for you from the first beginning, the short hair. The second one, if you're doing the waitressing, is more middle or lower class, blue collar work, and then you showcase someone that like a girl next door, right? And fluent Mandarin Chinese. With these three, I thought they were the strongest one, and then you can follow by the one you in the red dress. The little bitchiness in English. That one's good because you refer back to English, right? That's a good look too.
Yeah.
But we kind of see a little bit of that in the first footage, the maturity, the playfulness, right? So that would be a bonus, and then followed by the horror one towards the end, or remove the horror one completely.
I personally think like the horror one did not benefit anything. Like you said, I totally agree what you just said because that scene is similar to Tips, the second part. You know how it was all grainy and it was darker, and you are actually showing more emotions when it comes to your fighting with, you're the immigrant. That part, I think it covers the range of emotions rather than the circle. Yeah. So other than that, I think the whole entire reel is strong. Yeah. The font is what kind of got me a little bit. It jumps out too much and it's too big. I know I do that for YouTube. So I know it's all out there. But for your, I think for your reel, it really depends on how you want to market yourself. So the font becomes something quite important. And to actually have that huge out there name tag out there like that, it was a little bit, I was a little bit disrupted.
Yeah, it because she gave us an opening, and then you have the title, right?
Right.
That kind of again, it disrupted the flow.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. But if you put that in the beginning, I think I would be okay, and then to jump into your seductive scene. But if you were
toward the end, I think because she has a website on there too, it's good towards the end. Again, it acted as a choice, put it at the beginning or the end, but not in the middle of a good show.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Good. That was good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. hope it helps. Yeah. If you have any questions, free to comment. I hope I see all the comments. Or
if you disagree, let us know.
If you disagree, jump in here and have a battle. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of debate, right?
No, I think it's great to have a discussion about things. Sometimes one-dimensional conversation can't really go anywhere. Like, you might have something that you like, but you also have something that you think it actually works better this way. Like for you and for me, we're looking at the reel completely different sometimes.
Well, preference is subjective. Preference is different, right?
Definitely.
Again, this is just our perspective. You don't really have to follow, but something for you to think about. I'm sure if it's for Lanzong, right, when you meet with an OA agent, they might have better ideas about your reel. But because at the end of the day, is your representative are using your material to pitch you, so they'll know better on how to better refine what you have to make it more effective.
Yep. Totally. And she's here. Thanks for the feedback. You're welcome. Welcome to LA, by the way. I think there are a lot more projects opening up here. So, definitely be on the lookout.
That's always the discussion line for an actor, LA versus New York, which is better.
Why
I'm
did
a New
she
Yorker.
decide to move? What made her wanted to move?
Yeah, Lan, tell us what brought you to Los Angeles?
Yeah, what brought you to Los Angeles? Is it because you want to do more commercial work? Because there's definitely a lot more commercials in LA. I think. Yeah.
Yes, just because of the availability of all the sound studios.
Yes.
Unless it's like an exterior New York specific commercial that is shoot in New York. Otherwise, I would say 88% of the commercials are in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that you see on TV. Now, coming from a New York background, I think in New York, an actor can really grow and learn the craft. Because in New York, we don't sugarcoat things. It's really about the work. But in LA, there's a lot more opportunities and projects. Right at the end of the day, it's Hollywood. So I think for a starting actor, if you are in New York, do a lot of training, sharpen your skills. At the meantime, get as many credits as you can in the East Coast. Once you move to the West Coast, your credit means nothing.
Nobody really care. Look at it.
Like 24 seasons, something like that. Maybe there's you won a Law and Order, but one Law and Order versus all the NCIS series in a way is nothing, right?
Yeah.
So your credit becomes less important in a way. You still have to take some classes in LA just to get to learn their style, especially commercial classes. I think that's helpful because the styles are different, right? You also have to get an LA headshot too, right? It's different.
Yeah. So different.
Yeah, very different. And then take another acting class. You can never have too many training. Acting class just to make friends. Actually, using that to make actor friends, and also have to recognize my resume.
Yeah, networking definitely is a must.
Yeah.
Even we still network, right? You?
I tried. I'm a hermit out here on Long Island. So
I still network.
Even people stop commenting on my Facebook. Like I told you, I complain. I upload the cute monkey videos my profile. Only my friend Yoko liked it. That's it. I mean, it took me a while to find a video like that. A monkey kicking his leg, chilling.
Why did you decide to find a video so you can wish people can like it?
I thought people like monkeys too.
Monkey is not my thing.
You know what? I for some reason I started watching monkey videos. Now I watch monkey videos when I'm so stressed out, and then I think it just happened one day. I saw this random monkey video that was shot in Hong Kong on YouTube, and then for 15 minutes I was watching a bunch of monkeys doing their daily routine. I was like, wow, my stress went away. Because I focus on watching what the monkeys are doing, and from there I literally become so not obsessed, but I enjoy watching monkey videos. They're just fun to watch.
Good. So Lan just said she already signed an LA commercial class and also enrolled in UCB. That's the one thing about LA right now is you either go to those 3 improv schools or else you all have a harder time to get cast. They even have people posted on there. Like they say, they need you to have is it called what is it called?
Second City.
Second City and Groundlings.
Groundlings, Second City.
Those improv classes, or else you will not even get into the audition. So that's a norm in LA right now.
In New York is the ground is UCB, and there's the pit. In New York, we have the pit. We don't have Second City. We have the pit. And then there is also the Magnet Theater. That's where I study improv.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Do you like improv?
Improv is great. I think it's very helpful to keep the scene going. Right, you're nonstop. I think one of the things I learned about improv is never really try to be funny or act funny, because the material, how to let the material shine, right?
Yes.
But the goal is to keep the momentum going, and it really helps in terms of the commercials, right? Sometimes if you get awkward sides, right, and sometimes people say, I don't know what to do with my hands. If you have enough improv experiences, you make things happen and let the scene going. So if you have a very long scene and your scene partner has a 2-page monologue to go through, like, you're not just going to be like waiting for the actors finish. You use improv. You use your improv skill to create something that's reasonable within content to do while you are reacting or listening to that monologue without being standing and nod your head for 20 seconds, because
sometimes it's a problem when it comes to an audition and they have to pair up people.
Yeah.
Like pair up 2 actors together. It's so hard sometimes. As an actor, sometimes when you have improv knowledge compared to someone who doesn't even know what an audition is, and then they got paired up and then go into the scene, usually the one who's experienced would not even get the second callback because they're going in pair. And that's one thing that sometimes it's a factor that it also damages the people if you don't take those classes.
No, for casting, we always look at, again, we use the resume as a reference to our expectation, right? Before we bring you in. If I don't know the actor, I look at the training and I have a really good idea. In New York, if you train at the neighborhood playhouse, if you train at the Atlantic Acting School, or Stella Adler's, I know what to expect from your audition, just because I've done this for more than 10 years, right? I've seen seen it all. So I kind of have an. Also, I studied. I learned a lot about the acting techniques as well. So so I pay more attention to that. Same thing with the improv. If I'm doing a commercial casting, right, or something that's more comedy, lighthearted, that's more fast paced. I think someone with improv experience, I will feel more comfortable giving the appointments to. Versus some who have zero or very few experience. Again, it really depends on the role. If it's just like a day player role, 1 or 2 lines, like a waiter, bank teller, that's okay. But if it's like a strong supporting character, you gotta be able to carry the scene with your scene partner. Like you said, when you pair people up, one has more experience than the other, then the rhythm become off balance, right? And then it become more tough for the more experienced actor.
Yes.
Because the inexperienced actor may not feel anything. I can memorize my lines, I'll throw it to you.
The problem is that I experience, as an actor, especially in LA, they don't care. Like most of the casting director, they're not like you, Wayne, who would actually look at someone's resume and actually want to bring people who are more on the equal term. In LA, there's so many people who it's almost like people street casting.
No, I think it's more because of the volume, right? Again, some casting, not all casting, but some casting professionals will take the time when they have the time to get to know the actor. Like when I do pairing, I make sure I pair people who are a good fit in the scene. That's how you get the scene work. There's acting is reacting, right? If I had to pair, if someone is less experienced, I'll find someone who's at that same level and pair them together so the scene will work.
So
because when a more experienced actor realizes, oh wow, this person doesn't know how to respond to me, that actor might get distracted, right? And that's a disadvantage to the actor. It's not fair for the actor to do that.
Yeah, and which also bring a very important note to the actors out there, especially, okay, so this is what I see at the casting, in the casting studio when I do auditions, is that when another actor is giving a line note to another person, I immediately will tell you to don't give a line to another person. Like, don't give the line to another actor, because that's not your place. Like, I would just straight up saying that, because I was taught never give a line to another, never give a line reading as a director, never give a line reading to an actor if you are an actor, because you are degrading that person, or you think that person is not have no experience whatsoever. It's just rude.
Is it true in LA every actor is an acting coach? I heard the same.
I don't see it often, but I've seen it that I have to shut it down for real. Yeah.
No. A lot of actors started online acting classes during the pandemic. And they'll say, oh, in LA. No. People told me that, again, every actor in LA is a acting coach.
An acting coach, right?
This doesn't, I don't know if it happens in New York, but in New Yorkers, we don't give an F. So don't tell me what to do. They'll be only tell the other actors that you do your thing, I do my thing, let's make it work.
I love it.
Yeah.
I usually this, if someone give a line note to me, I'll be like, oh, thank you. And then I just like still doing my same thing. I literally don't care, but inside of me would be like, don't give me that.
No. If as an actor, if someone did that to me, I'll say something, why don't you, thank you so much, but why don't you stay of what you worked? And because I have my own idea about the scene and my character, and we are paired together for a reason, right? So let's just do our own thing and do what we did. It's less like you did a Paris scene during the first audition. It's more like a callback chemistry read, right? So there's a reason that you're paired together for a reason, and you're supposed to do what you did in the first audition that got you the callback, right? So I will tell the other actors that why don't we just stick to what we did? You do your thing. I'll do my best to match your rhythm and give you the reactions that I think and I feel is appropriate for my character, right? And then let's keep it going. And that's where the improv comes in. You are ready for any kind of situation.
Same. Yeah.
Because you don't know what your scene partner is going to do, and it's not your job to direct that person. You direct yourself, right? So improv will help you carry things along that are reasonable within the circumstances, right? Improv is about giving you a scenario and you keep going, right? You do whatever to make that happen. And that's the experience that will be very helpful in dealing with any kinds of scene partners.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Oh, Judy is back. If you have any question, definitely put it in the comments. But we are going to look at Nick Parks after. Are you ready for it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
When was the last time you saw Dawn?
After lunch. We talked about this debate for poli-sci. I am to later, but she never hit me back.
Where the fuck do you think you're going? Hey, what's it to you? Don't touch me, freak.
God, Tony, go home. He's my brother.
I'm adopted, asshole. I don't give a fuck. Do you know who the fuck I am?
Oh my God.
Do I? Does she know who the fuck you are?
18 missed calls. I cannot pronounce that name, but I think he was in a girl with dragon tattoo. This will give me a good problem to talk about on my college applications. They like people with problems.
They got into my house. I don't know how it happened. Oh, God.
You're very good at fake fighting. Thanks, man. You'll get there one day. Thank you for that patronizing tone. Maybe we could try some real fighting.
What I was thinking is that Casa and Pasa should get together and become K-Pasa. And the membership would be like Korean Americans and Polish Americans and inquisitive Latinos.
Nice. Short and sweet. This is the shortest reel that I have seen so far.
It can be shorter. Just my
Yeah, I mean that's just you. But okay, well, let me say I'll start. I really like, definitely the length is something that I really enjoy to see each nice bit of it. They are like what we said before, there are scenes that I feel like it's not necessary to be in it. I do feel, I'm not sure how I feel about when it comes to an acting reel, you wanted to put commercials in it. Yeah, so that's that first, that will, I don't know, that's how I feel. Like, I don't know if you should really put commercial. I don't, but I feel like if it has a line and it doesn't show as more commercial, and you actually have more of a close-up that looks you more in a dramatic scene, I think it will work. But if it's just commercial itself, I think the reel itself is very strong, but it's jumping back and forth that you makes audience have this roller coaster emotion that I have a hard time following. But I think if we replace some of the scene to give you that more of here's more of the dramatic part and that's more of the funny moments, I think it will work. Or you just cut it into commercial reel and drama reel. I don't know.
So the reason why it could be shorter,
yeah,
I think it's more effective. He only kept 3 clips. The first 2 and the one with the cell phone. That sounds like a commercial.
Was really good.
Longer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's funny. That's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stand up, improv, theater thing does not go on the acting reel. So he should do a comedy reel and do the second city and his stand up work there. So yeah, because I'm sure people have the urge to put everything to one to showcase their work. Yeah. But I would suggest you just put anything on camera, acting as one footage. It doesn't have to be 3 minutes, 1 minute. Like short and sweet is fine. So that 3 footage that you have, the first 2, right, the strongest scene first, right? That's great. And the second
scene was really strong.
It is very nice, and the second scene is
really
nice too.
Yeah.
Right, and then the cell phone. I think these 3 is sufficient for acting reel. And then do your stand-up and second city stage scene as a comedy reel. You can also combine comedy reel with commercial as well. It's true about your commercial footage that was so short, they become more like a look.
Yes.
Right? More like a look. And that doesn't do much.
Yeah, you can just
because for acting resumes, you don't even lose your commercial because of conflicts, right? So that becomes less. We are less interested about what kind of commercial you book, because you're not casting for a toothpaste commercial and you did one for Colgate. I'm like, well, that's conflict of interest.
Yeah,
right?
You don't want that. Yeah,
no. So
like
you rather have
Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, and then you've done all 3 of them, but just don't tell people.
Well, the thing is, it's only effective for certain years, right?
Yeah.
But I could not tell that from the reel, right? But when I saw that on the reel, the first thing is I'm not gonna get you an audition because it's a conflict.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a disadvantage.
You're eliminating your own
unless again, it really depends on how you pitch it. Because when you submit yourself, you can let me know, hey, I did this, but that was 5 years ago. So it's no longer an issue. It's no longer being aired, right? And so that's no conflict. And contractually, you're being released by the initial contract. So you're okay with that. That's fine. So make sure you submit, you include that details for commercial work. So that's my feedback. I mean, great. That's a good acting reel. I see very nice things, for Nick, right? He has the opening introducing, and at the end, hey, that's okay. That's it. Here we go. My name and my agent. You don't need to put introducing, but again, I get a sense of humor, so that's okay. You know, the yellow, the orange is your brand. That's okay. It's very flashy. It kind of go with your your strong, which is the comedy that you have.
Yeah.
Right. So that's okay. But I don't need to see the beginning or and the end one more time. Again, make it neat and clean, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. That's just our thoughts. So
Also,
if you have
the fighting thing. Sorry, I've been cutting you off. It's your channel, but I'm like in space.
You're right.
The fighting thing, unless it's a choreographed fighting where you're gonna be a stuntman, that scene does not help you. Unless you're a professional boxer or kickboxer, then that would be a separate footage, a separate reel. But
I think maybe that's why it showcased the second city where it was choreographed, and then that scene was just kind of like comedy.
Yeah.
You know what?
Again, if you want to do more action stuff, wait until you have more diverse action stuff, and then do an action reel. But I will move that out of your legit theater reel for now, because I look at it, I'm like, I really like, why is it here?
I forgot about that scene.
Right? You feel nothing. It doesn't serve.
Because that kind of made me feel like it was the second city scene or something like that. So immediately I would think, oh, it's the fighting scene. But then now you mention about it, I was like, oh yeah, that scene.
Yeah, it kind of make you think about another scene, right? That's not what you want the creative team to think about.
Definitely.
I should be thinking about, wow, he can really fight, but I'm not looking at the stunt reel, right? So that's the thing, is that even you have this experience, you can learn, or you have learned martial arts, you can do all these great work. It belongs to a different reel. So
great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Again, personal opinion, so don't be offended.
No, but it's definitely helpful. It even helps my own reel, like the concept, the idea that your reel is an acting reel that showcase you with your range emotions. And sometimes it's not really about like if you think about comedy, then you think about comedy reel. If you're thinking of fighting, you're thinking about an action reel.
Yeah.
Done choreographed reel.
We are looking for something.
Yeah.
Right? If we're not looking for fighting or stunt stuff, and you show us that, it just come in and come out. It will not register.
Yes.
But I register all the acting stuff, right? The first scene, I register the second scene, and then the mobile device, the funny one. That could be a commercial, but he has a lot more to do than the 3-second footage. Book here. Those are distraction. Like, I'd rather take those out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we got more. We have Victor and Hana.
Okay.
Let's see Hana's first. No, is that Victor's? Hold on. I don't know.
I sent you. Let's see.
Let me see. Hold on, because it all starts with black screen, so I'm not sure which one is which.
We'll play one, and then we'll announce the name.
Yes. You know what? It's
People show us
Hana or Victor's. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Sorry, wrong one. Oh, no.
Okay.
I think I saw your name.
He's the
Is
one.
that you?
He'll get you out of the old country and to the border before sunrise. New passport and immigration papers. Keep them safe.
What a silly notion. Hey, let's give them a romance show.
Marry me. I know that you have been spending time with me as a way to defy the party, but I'm in love with you.
My illness and my character aren't good for you.
I'm not afraid. If you insist on flirting with danger, at least let me be by your side to help protect you.
Can I think about romance now? All my classmates have been punished. I'd rather be exiled to Siberia than be here with this guilt.
God has a plan for you.
I don't know his will. He has been silent.
Hi, Amber.
Hi, Mom.
Honey,
I don't have a
I've
lot
been
of time,
thinking.
but you go first.
I saw your video, honey.
Oh. I thought you didn't use social media.
Honey, I'm 56, not 96. I didn't know that you felt this way.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I should have talked to you.
Why are you searching autism in women?
Close that!
Daisy, you don't have to yell.
Just go back inside, Danny.
But I know some people...
Danny, please. Are you even thinking about the kind of life you'll live after wasting your education on something so stupid?
Stupid? Aunt Karen is a successful
God!
photographer.
I knew this would happen. You will not be nearly as lucky as her getting started. Do you know how long it took for her to get those first jobs?
Look, I do, but you're not listening to me.
That's right,
Okay?
I'm not.
先把东西放进去好不好？妈妈先整理一下客厅。
Nice. What do you think, Wayne? I saw a lot of familiar faces. Her co-partner. I've seen a lot of people who I know. So.
Okay. It's a very nice reel, very nice body of work. But again, as a showcase reel that if you want to put it on your website, lovely, that's great. But if you want to do one just for your agent to pitch you, like a legit reel, you can trim it down a lot, because we see many different looks, but that lasts less than 15 seconds. A lot of very similar energy in some of the character work. You just use one. For example, first footage, the biggest role, keep it there. The second one is great. Now, before you go into the longer scene, right, of the guy in the bed, I would put the Chinese footage on the third, while we're talking to the child. Yeah, so we know you can speak. We can hear your diction. Again, people who are looking for your Mandarin speaking skill will be zone in on that. right? So for me, it's like, okay, the foreign language skill, very fluent, great. The last refrigerator that can go out, I don't know why it's there. It's a different look, right? It's just a
It could
look.
also be because it closed. You know, she closed the fridge. It's
I
also
wanted
at
her closer
closed.
for Hana Wu and then, the agent, DPN
Yeah,
talent,
that's how
right?
I felt. Yeah,
Right?
I
That's a
was
close.
expecting.
Because I was looking at a fridge for a good 1 second and 1.75 seconds, and that's a long fridge. I was like, oh, fridge. That's the last. My closing impression is not Hana Wu, is the fridge.
The
Right.
fridge. I'm trying to figure out what's
Right.
inside.
So again, that's a good look. So it's good that you include it for your showcase of
Showcase. Yeah.
your work, body of work, but like a legit reel for submission, keep it tight, right? So that can go out. The one where you drop the thing into the well and then something splash in the head, that didn't do much. That's where she has that blue color, right? She has that acting we see in the first footage.
Yes.
The panic one, right? The urgent one. We saw that. Of
Yeah.
course, I don't know the storyline. I don't know the character work. But for me, the wavelength is very similar.
Yes,
So
it
when you
is
repeat
very
that
beautiful.
with a different uniform, different costume, with a different scene partner, that did not impress me. In a way, I see something different,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's some footage that you can, it might be more effective to remove them. Doesn't matter you only have 40 seconds, as long as we get to the point, show us what you got, and that should be sufficient. Good actress.
Yeah, she is. How do you feel about looks wise? Like in terms of cement, how the movie itself look? Because I know there are some shots that are definitely not the same color tone with the real.
It's okay. For me, I can see her and hear her clearly. I can see what's going on. I think that's the ultimate goal, right? Because not all the film will come out with the same quality.
Right.
Just like student films, right? Sometimes you have an amazing editor who can make things seem to go, and then you can have a strong script, and then you have a poor editor or the light person wasn't doing the right job, so it's come out crappy looking, right? And
So it's not really. So it doesn't really matter if the quality is not there. If the acting is there, it's the most important.
The quality does matter. Just like Lan Zhong's footage, where her running in the hallway, because the quality was so bad, it distracts us from enjoying her performance. So something like that will become a distraction because everything is very grainy, right? So that's a disadvantage. That's a distraction. For Hannah, I think the quality of the other footage may not be up to standard, but I can see her and hear her clearly.
Yeah.
For me, I think that's sufficient.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
How about
good.
you?
I like Hannah's reel. Like I agree what you're saying. There are a lot of looks that are very similar. If this is just a showcase, we can see a lot of work has been putting into the reel. Like she is a working actress.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the first thing that comes to my mind. But like you said, also I feel there are a lot of scenes that you can take out because there's a lot of some iconic scene that you can just put in there and people will remember you. And I feel like the fridge, like you say, I agree. I'm not sure how I feel about the fridge. The whole entire storyline from the beginning to the end of the reel, I think that's a good closure. But as an acting reel, it shows just the look, but nothing else.
So some actors might be watching this and say, "Well, how am I supposed to edit my reel?" Again, again, like I said, like something
I
like
always say that.
it's good for a website, your website that showcase your body of work. That will be a long reel, right? And then you should always have one less than a minute or minute and a half, like definitely less than 2 minute legit reel that at your disposal, or your agent, right? Or if you're artist access, right? You definitely need to have a shorter reel that up there that your agent can just grab that and submit. Because for casting and creative team who don't have the time to watch the full length of reel, we want to see something short, sweet, and get to the point. So at least you have that, to target the submission. Using that, your agent can help you help push to get an appointment. Audition appointment, yeah.
That also requires you to do a lot more acting works.
Yeah,
because when I edited my own reel, I had those moments where there were scenes that were amazing. Like I knew it was amazing because I was in it. But no, it was because the lines itself or the dialogue or the conversation itself, it was so good. But the shot was horrible. The lighting was horrible. Or the way they put everything together was just horrible. Like I couldn't use it. But I love the scene. And I was like, ugh. So I need to do a lot more acting works in order to find a right shot.
Yeah, that's why a lot of student films can help. But again, that's another catch-22, right? The post-production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting better though. I hear you. I mean, it's definitely getting better. So
again, depends. Again, like even if you audition for a student film, remember, auditioning is like an interview, right? If you're meeting director and producer directly for the student film scenario, they interview you, and you should have an idea based on your brief interaction with them on how serious they are.
Yes. It's just like how we talk to the producers besides the actors, we can sense everything. We kind of do a check of everyone.
No, I'm currently talking to a filmmaker.
Good for you. Your eyes were rolling all the way to somewhere else.
Oh, well, I hope he's not watching this.
Yeah, don't worry.
But to be upfront and honest, sometimes when you meet a stranger and about to collaborate on a project, there's a lot of questions out there, right? A lot of uncertainty, and that's where my uncertainty comes from. Because we go back and have a lot of conversations, but right now I'm not yet comfortable, on signing onto the project, just because there are just certain missing parts that I felt, or my instincts telling me, like, well, until everything are all set in stone before you sign on and actually start the casting process, because I have a feeling I might end up wasting my time.
I have to share a story where there's a director. He straight up telling me, because he had a bad experience with a casting director prior to the project that he was talking to me, and he was demanding this and that, like everything. And then he even was trying to talk down to me about what does casting director really do, or what can you really bring to the table, or what's your capability of doing things. Like immediately he was trying to
interview
because his previous experience about casting director that he worked with was horrible.
Yeah.
And then I didn't tell the director straight up, but I told the producer, like, I cannot work with someone who was already biased when it comes to a project like this. This is a collaborative work. And if I try to just prove myself that I'm better than the casting director, I'd rather not take that weight. And I was like, I just gave up that project.
Yeah, I mean, number one, always trust your instinct, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
right now, again, I'm very uncertain on taking on this SAG feature, just because the person running it, I don't have the confidence. Right?
Okay.
Until he's able to secure another associate producer that I personally know, then then we can talk further, right? Same thing like in your situation too. Yeah. If that were to happen to me, I will ask the person, like, then why are we even talking?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need a casting director for it then?
Yeah. I was actually straight up telling him that. And that's when he shared the story about him had a bad experience with another casting director.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Well, sucks to be
Is
you.
that the woman casting director that you showed me the last time? A different one? Okay.
This is a school project.
Okay.
So that's why I was curious. Is it the school project that you will be working on?
Not this one. This is a feature. But
Okay.
it's a good the concept of the storyline is attractive.
Okay.
The subject matter is attractive, and it is important to tell that story. But it just
you can foresee the drama. Okay.
I need a middle person to filter that. Yeah.
Today we're interviewing with Weng, but we're also doing another acting demo reviews for all these actors that volunteered. The next one we'll be looking at is Victor Chen's. And if you have any questions or any comments, please leave in the comments in YouTube. But for now, let's just watch this.
Okay.
I got this.
要绝对忠诚，可是你却背叛了我们，我不会放过你的。
你来，我等你。
That was good. I had to use YouTube because I didn't have it download.
Okay.
But just make sure if you put a teaser and a reel, I think it's good, but just don't put it on your headshot's face.
I mean, teaser? Oh,
For the YouTube, he has a YouTube link, and then this is what you saw at the end where
yeah, it happens. Yeah. It happens, right? Because he has a website, right?
Yep.
And then the website is a bunch of YouTube links, so you see that that's.
But this is an action reel.
You don't need to post something on YouTube, and then I don't know what to remove that, but again, add to what they can, right, to showcase something. I think for other people like Tim, he has on Vimeo, you don't get that because Vimeo is just one video.
Yes.
And you can embed on the website too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a cleaner, but it's okay. I mean, I wasn't too disappointed.
I wasn't distracted because we were just watching the reel, and that was just the end of it.
It's a good stunt reel and fight, and he said that right at the beginning, right?
Yes.
He has his own logo, right? I know logo has become an active branding, and it was a popular thing in the 90s. Right?
Really?
I don't know if I have to start doing that, but at that time, people say, "Oh, you have a logo." People more memorable, and then until everybody has some kind of logo, I'm like, "Wow, this is like I don't know. It looks like a gas station now, right?" You have all kinds of things. Too much, too much. But that's fine. He has his own production company, I believe. That's okay. He gave himself a lot of titles, right? Real martial artist, choreographer,
Choreographer.
done. All you need is just your name vector, because your reel speaks for itself. You can fight. If you can fight, you can choreograph, right? And because of the stuff that you showed us, we see you're a real martial artist. You know,
It
right?
looks really beautiful. Like if we have a compare, compared to the one that we saw before, this one is definitely choreographed.
It is
And-
choreographed. Again, as a martial artist or stunt or fight choreographer, right? When you showcase this, we are looking for those, right? You see weapons and bare hand combat, right? And you see acting as well. The smack of the knife, even at the end speaking Chinese. You can move out too. That's fine. That totally works, right? So that's a good fighting stunt reel.
Yes.
Because you're not only doing stunt, you're doing it yourself. So that's a good fight reel. It showcases.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, for an action reel, it hits the spot of everything that we are looking for, and you kept it with just 3 scenes, right? So it was somewhat short and sweet.
No, straight to the point. We see it, right?
Yeah.
Right. And the next step will be inviting you to be the creative team. Well, our fight choreographer will be interested in meeting you and talk more about your experience. Right? They know they don't need to train you for 2 months to bring you to set. Right?
Yeah.
They'll work with you for maybe five session max, right? And then you bring you directly to set. Not to train you, but train other people working with you, so they don't get killed by you. Yeah.
They actually had a stunt credit on my IMDb.
Back in the day, when I was starting out, me falling on the ground, I caught up me doing my stunt work.
Yeah, right. I think
And
what happened with my stunt reel, not the stunt reel, it was what happened, and I got the stunt credit. Like the producer decided to add it with a stunt credit, but I remember I just fell. I think I got shot and died. That's it. Hey, more stunt reel.
Well, that's another thing about credits, right? Like, I recently come across this person's. I surf IMDb all the time. It's one of my hobbies. So I come across this person. I said, "Oh wow, this person has pretty good credits, right?" So top 5 credits. And when I closely say, "Oh, you are the actor, you are the writer, you are the filmmaker, and your own fight choreographer, and then you are your own stunt person."
Ugh.
So,
is that a YouTube video?
Right. So that's the thing. Like, you can do a lot in production, but when you credit yourself, give yourself either 1 or 2 biggest credit. That's it. Like, if I fall, if I fall on the ground and got a stuntman credit, I will ask the person to remove me from stunt. Like, I'm not a stunt person. It's the actor falling, right? A stunt man you hired to fall on my behalf. That's a stunt man.
Right.
So I should not get that stunt credit because I just fell. But I'm not a stunt man to do that part. So don't give me that credit. It's not fair for the real stunt people.
I was shocked.
I don't deserve that. So that's how I differentiate that. If I run my own movie, if I self-direct myself because I'm the only one in the scene and my friend being my fight partner, you know what? I'm just gonna give myself a director credit because that's the bigger one.
Yeah.
Credit. Because when people see me, they know I'm the director. Oh, self-direct, self-act. Okay, we got it. I don't need to, plaster myself on everything. That's, looks a little fun for me.
We're done. Yeah. Too much credit.
Did you imagine the credit roll on the film? Yeah, all these titles when you're
to
looking straight down, and your
choo,
friend,
choo,
and
choo, choo.
maybe your mom doing catering, and then that's more silliness when you look at it versus produced, directed by Dang. That's the biggest title you can give yourself.
That's definitely a great tip. Don't give yourself too much credit.
Because we all see as jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
If you're focused on acting, then go for that acting credit.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We have one more, so we can wrap this up. But we have Diana Wen's
okay.
Scrapbook. So we already know from the beginning that this is more of a showcase of a
scrapbook. Yeah.
It's done. So this is not an acting reel. So whatever that we said, is definitely not everything in here. But just look at it as a amazing work that she has done. I want to just showcase her. So are you ready?
Let's do it.
I'm going to put some music behind it. Because she has Michael Jackson's music, and I know I'm copyrighted. So I have to put my own music over it, my own spin. So don't judge my music. No. Okay, right. Enjoy. That's not the music I want to put. Hold on.
She has a black and white picture, so you kind of fit that genre, right?
Okay. I think for this one, we can talk over it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So because it's a scrapbook, right? It's good that we can see the history.
Yes.
One thing that actors need to remember that your reel should be what you look like now or within recent years, right? So if we see something on the reel that you did from like 5 or more than a decade ago, if you don't look like a reel anymore, you should leave it out. Like me talking to myself. Like the last time I had to have any reels like 8 years ago, I look different now, right? So am I still gonna use my legit reel? Yes, I am, because I have nothing else to do. But that's why as an actor, you want to continue to do more work and get more work, so you have a reel that reflects how you look right now.
Yes.
I know him. I know them.
I know them. I know that restaurant too.
Really? Was it good?
I shot a Chinese TV show over there. Yeah, the food was really pretty good. So. How do you like my music?
I'm sorry, I was distracted by Jackie Chan, so pop music.
Yeah, that's a lot of Jackie Chan's footage. That's amazing. Yeah. Who's your biggest star that you worked with so far, Weng?
That I work with as an actor?
Yeah. Or as a star?
Through casting?
Yes.
Biggest?
I remember watching Rush Hour 2. I watch all the Rush Hours.
I don't know about big, but Ludi Lin from Mortal Kombat, he's getting big, right? I mean, he's getting big. I cast in a film.
Getting more muscular.
Yeah. I cast in a film, and I think now he's very relevant. Right now, he's everywhere, which is a good thing. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Pepe, right? Pepe Chen. I mean, I remember watching Pepe when she had her cooking show on TV. You know,
Wow.
so I'm so happy that she has given the opportunity to do Crossing Tiger, and from that, it literally launched her in all sorts of opportunities around the world.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
I also cast her in the film, and it was from again actors to work with. First, she is very pleasant to work with. I did not interact with her directly. I interact with her manager. So.
Oh, okay. I see. That's
Hi,
great.
Andrew, if you're watching this.
Andrew, the agent?
Yeah, manager. He's a manager.
Oh, the manager.
Yeah.
I see.
How about you? Who's the either the biggest star or the most well-known actor that you work either acting or casting?
Well, I cast Jack Young in one of the independent film before.
Okay.
And Jack Young was in Superman, I think so.
I'm gonna IMDb him right now. Jack Yang. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the name might not click, but when I saw the picture.
Yeah, when I see the picture, then I would be like, oh, I remember this person.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't work with him, but I was working on a commercial where Kobe Bryant was the star. Before it was 1 year before the accident.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, wow. And then it was quite amazing to hear about has a project with him together. Yeah. I think we can also, I don't know if you are, but I think we're almost at the end of our stream. Honestly, this is 13 hours long credit. So if you guys want to check it out, I will definitely put the link in the description box so you can check out all her work, because she has a lot of work.
I mean, it kind of make me envy, right? I wish that I would.
I wish I have those. Exactly. Same here. So that's why
I don't know how long I'll be doing casting until I'm burned out by the nature of this job. It's very stressful. So
for casting,
yeah.
Hear you. There's a moment of my life where I just feel like I'd rather do YouTube than actually casting someone else.
No.
Because YouTube, you bring your own character or your own craft into what you want to do. But when it comes to casting, a lot of times it's not really about you bring something to the table. There's a lot of time you feel like you are just being an assistant.
We do bring a lot to the table in terms of our taste in acting.
Always.
Right? That's another thing, because you are thinking about, as an actor, you want to express, right, through your art. So that's something that even I would feel that at times, right?
Yeah.
But I'm very thrilled to see actors that audition for me, that come hard. It's always exciting for me to see their take on the character, and also how creative they are with their self-tapes. I've seen amazing things that people can do during the pandemic. That's
look at
awesome.
The whole setup. It's because of the pandemic.
Like, is that your bathroom though?
No, it's soundproof wall that I bought.
Because at the corner, I kind of noticed there's almost like a roll of toilet paper. I said, "Whoa, are you really in your bathroom?" Because
no, it's my bed. But how's the sound quality if it's in the restroom? The echo must be loud.
Good autistic, wonderful. Yeah.
Next time I'll just use this and I'll say bathroom song, or like bathroom
That's a good music. That's a new intro music if you want to look at things, right?
I'll put it in the TikTok. Bathroom sing along.
So
okay. Judy said something. It's hard to make money on YouTube. I totally agree. Recently, I just heard someone who was working for a year and a half on YouTube, and they kind of just gave up on YouTube. So, it is really hard work. So don't start. That's the best way to start your YouTube career.
I think, again, things really have changed, right? With the social media, especially with the TikTok and Instagram.
Definitely.
That's the new money. Is, again, like Tom, you started your own YouTube channel. I think you really just have to, number one, have the passion for it and stick to it. Eventually, more people will discover you.
Yep.
Right, and just don't give up. Keep doing it. If you're in it to win it, just keep doing it.
Hey, I've done this for 2 years now.
I get bored sometimes, but anyways.
Trust me. Hey, but it's always great to have someone come on board and talk with me and have this chat, Like last time I actually had Judy chatting with me about how to become successful on YouTube, like all this kind of content makes me want to keep pushing myself to do something different. And to be inspired.
Well, the thing is that number one, it keeps you busy, and on top of your game, right? You stay relevant. That's very important, right? And also searchable. Part of the casting, since you're also, as an actor too, right? You want to make sure you're visible one or the other. Sometimes, depending on the project that we worked on, we may not need an acting reel. I did this campaign for a very well-known fragrance brand that have a strong presence on a social media. I was casting an ad for their social media, right?
Okay.
So at the end of the day, we pretty much everybody's audition video is like a YouTube channel, a product review.
Oh,
a fake product.
Oh, I can do an unboxing. I have an.
No, it's just like that. It's just like that. Like literally, like we give you a scenario, no hard script, a scenario, and all you need to do is hold out a, something
Whatever
like this. You'll be like,
sell it.
Great, da 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 da. Because when you booked it, you're gonna film the actual thing at your home.
Yeah.
They will send you the camera equipment, right? But we want to see the scenario. So that's the audition.
Gotcha.
Everyone is doing their own on YouTube channel, a segment on your product review. Doesn't matter if you like the product or not, they had to fake it, right? So if you want to get your dough, you just want to make a believable video. And that was the audition.
Interesting. Yeah, I hear you.
I am someone from LA, because for that one we literally do like across the country. Like if you can record something nice, and then again, I saw so many amazing auditions at what people can do with their phone. And then because we give them freedom to freestyle, like we're given a concept, an idea that at a time. I saw like mind-blowing ones from LA and New York, and one from Atlanta too. I was like, wow.
Yeah, you'll be surprised, and then you will feel like, actors, step your game up, please.
No, but that's pretty much it, and it makes sense. It's like the TikTok video, 60 seconds, right? You have 60 seconds to grab someone's attention. You have 60 seconds to grab people's attention and fall in love with you, to subscribe to your channel, so they can watch you. And every day you have to produce something. Not every day, but you have to continue to publish content to grab their interest. Just like a TV show, right? You got to carry a show for a whole season. That's why that's the challenge is. That's why, social media has really become the best way to make money, and for actors to be exposed and to gain that, maybe the followers or get noticed by the industry. Like I told you in the last video, I do scouting on TikTok.
Yeah, I am going to hop on TikTok.
Yeah.
After this stream is done.
You start one, and then because a lot of stuff you do on, I mean, I've seen people who use TikTok to lead people to their Instagram to like, right? Instagram follower becomes product placement strategy, and that's one. And then we have someone who use TikTok to lead to their YouTube channel to see the video.
That's what I will be using for TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, YouTube Shorts is actually going to be the new thing too, because it will start monetized on YouTube. But it works the same thing as TikTok. And you actually, I think it's a way that YouTube is trying to get all the people come to their own platform.
Again, copying ideas. Instagram copy the TikTok ideas too, like Instagram story that I've been using a lot lately. You know, again, and the idea is there. People use what they want. Each platform has their own advantage, right? You just find what's right for you. Again, you mentioned that for your commercials. Yes, for commercial stuff, Instagram has become one of the norm for producers to look at or look. I have users who gave me Instagram handles to like, hey, can you reach out to these people before?
Yes.
Like, what the really?
All the time.
Yeah, right. And you know, if people don't check their DMs, then that means you're missing out.
You're out of luck.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Judy, for being here the whole time. She said I should do some more stand-up jokes. I don't know. I ran out of stand-up jokes. No, I actually have more. I feel
my special skills. I can do that in every verse.
You're watching too many monkey videos. I need you to stop. Okay, well, thank you so much, Weng. I think we're just gonna wrap up here. If you want to watch the replay and help me to monetize this whole entire YouTube channel, please watch it and share and like. Hey, I'm so shameless about this. Yeah. And then I'm going to put all the links of all these reels that we have watched in the description after this, and also Wayne's IMDb link, so we can keep him up with the meter right here. Yeah. Okay, on that note, thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.